Good morning. Good morning. See, it's been so long. It's been so long. It's been so long since we've done a Tuesday with Todd that I still thought it was morning, but that's kind of the way it goes, man. Right? Like it's been a while. Welcome. It's been a while since we did one of these. It's because a lot's been going on. There's obstacles that we've had to overcome. There was jobs that needed to get done and out. There was school functions. There was a lot that was going on a Tuesday evenings, and so we're just gonna kind of talk about that. We're gonna talk about what's been going on with us and our business, how things have changed this year, where we look to go in the future, and how we can do that together. So first off, welcome Tuesday with Todd. It has been a while. Thanks for joining us. Make sure that we weren't even sure if we were going to be out, right? If we're going to be able to go live tonight because of just how things have come in. Traditionally, I have everything set up in the morning of at the very latest, and then push out emails so that way the blast goes out and we get that. So who knows? We could end up with one person here, or we could end up with 100 people here. I don't know. I know one way that helps us get more people is by you. If you share and you comment and you do all of that, then the algorithms say we should get some more people. So yeah, if you could do that, man, hey, that'd be much appreciative. Now we'll check in. So hey, maybe we should do it like we do in the morning. How did we used to do these things? Did we still get what, because there's no five things, but join us, let us know where you're from this evening, how the weather is in your area and what's in your cup. Guess what? I am still on a monster kick. I just had to crack open another one because it is a beautiful 75 degrees here in the Midwest today. And I just had to enjoy it a little bit while I ran some errands to pick some things up. So let's check in, make sure, stop in, say hello. Let us know. We want everybody to get involved in this. Darren, hello, everyone. Hello to you as well. And Barb, good evening from North Central Minnesota, 68. Beautiful morning or beautiful afternoon. It's afternoon. Cloudy and rain later tonight. Yeah, we had rain last night, storms, I believe so. What's up, Chuck? I didn't want to disappoint you. I wanted to make sure that we did a Tuesday with Todd. I knew you'd be sending me a message. Like, we're doing it. So I said, you know what? We are going to make sure that we do it. Jerry, hey to you. Rye, thanks for stopping in this afternoon. Yeah, because it's really afternoon for you over there. And evening. Yes, it is evening. Facebook user, Facebook user. Listen, StreamYard and Facebook don't always play nicely together, but if you go right there, this guy right here, you can just head over here, fatdadlive.com. Then you'll be in our YouTube side and we'll be able to see who you are. Then there's no Facebook user. It's a magical thing. And look at that, from southern Utah and sunny. I got wrapped up in Matt's off-road recovery, and man, Utah looks gorgeous. And to see the change in elevation and beautiful 60 and then up in the mountains and snow, yeah, it looks gorgeous, but I'm not sure if it's really for me. Brittany, thanks for stopping by from Dallas. Course headed to Dallas next month. Yeah, for her birthday. She's headed to Dallas next month for her birthday for TumblerCon. That's what she'll be going down there for, TumblerCon next month. And I'm on Facebook. And I'm as confused as I look. See, no, right there. It says Jerry, so we can see who you are. Darren, storm is rolling through Topeka, headed towards you. I know. In fact, I think I just got a little weather blurb. Let me see. I think it just popped up on something. You ever notice when you want something milder weather Wednesday with rain holding off until Thursday? So it looks like we're gonna not get it until tomorrow, and we'll see how it is. So yeah, maybe I should still be able to enjoy the hot tub tonight. But so here's the story. There's some things that I'm going to talk about and some things that I'm not going to talk about. There's a handful of people that know, the more behind the scenes things that we have talked about, I had private conversations with them. There is some people that, we kept in the dark on a lot of stuff. And then when we told them, they're kind of jaws dropped. And so we're going to hope to not do that jaw dropping to you, but it could happen that way. So be prepared for that, because, nothing is perfect as it seems, right? Let's be honest. A lot of people are afraid to do stuff because they're always, what if it fails? What if, it doesn't work out? What if I'm too busy? What if I can't handle it? What if I'm just going to stay where I'm at? Me, I don't want to know what if. I don't want to look back and be like, what if I did that? So if I did it and I failed, then so be it. And sometimes failure is a good thing because, that's where people say, "Oh, you learn from failure." Now, I don't want to fail over and over and over again. No, I don't want to do that at all. I want to fail, learn, change, go on from there. That's the whole point of failing. Fail forward, learn from something from it, and go from there. Fu Facebook user, hello to you. Let us know who you are so we can that. Oh yeah, 61 and sunny in Chicagoland. It's gorgeous. Only 61 though. It says it's 75 here, Renee. Man, you're getting that lake effect cold because it is gorgeous outside here. But so obstacles we've had to overcome this year. Year started strong. We traveled a bunch, hit some shows, made a lot of new connections, kind of planned out the year of what we're going to do for business wise, what we're going to do content wise, set some goals, moving some things forward. And then, so December or January and February were kind of those months of, okay, let's get everything squared away for the year. We got our goals set. Here's the things we're going to have by the first quarter. Here's what we're going to have in the second quarter, third quarter, end of year. Well, okay, let's go with that. And then things happen, right? And you kind of work through that. One of the big changes that happened is we no longer have a storefront. Yes. The storefront is no more. It was at the end of the day a $10,000 learning lesson. So far, it could go as high as $150,000 learning experience. And we have no one to blame but ourselves because we took that leap on it. We had to make some tough decisions on what was going to happen and how to rectify that. And so we're going to walk you kind of through the process of where I think some of the things went off the rails at, and how, there's always, three sides of the story, right? Your side, their side, and the truth to it. The truth of the matter is things just didn't work out. They didn't work out. And why didn't they work out? Because the plan wasn't a bulletproof plan, which I thought we could create it as we went. And I was sorely mistaken with that. So that did not happen. So I'm going to give you guys a list of things that you should make sure you do before you jump into anything, because it is going to definitely help you out, right? You need to, if you do these things, it's going to help better you, better your business, and then make things better. And then we can kind of talk about each one and how things there. Number one is get everything in writing. Just because you have an idea or somebody else has an idea, there's a bunch of different stuff. Make sure to put it down on paper. Put it down there. How is this going to work out? And this goes for yourself too. If you're trying to start something new, write it down. Write it all out. Here's what we're going to do. Here's how I'm going to do it. Here's what it costs to do it. Here's how much I can put into it. Here's what I expect from it. Put as much in writing as you can so you can actually look at it. And that way, if you are in it with partnership with other people, everybody can see it. Everybody can have their chime in their opinion, put in what they believe it should be changed or how things should go. And then everybody can come to an understanding and agree upon something. Because if you don't do that, you're going to have people that may think, oh, well, this is the way I thought it was. Well, this is the way I thought it was. Well, this is the way I thought it was. And so when everybody thinks that, it's the way that it should have been, but there wasn't any clear plan laid out, then at the end of the day, it just creates a mess. And that's kind of what we went through. There are some things there are some contracts that fell through that didn't happen. So by those not happening, by not getting those in writing and make sure they're happening, then that pushed a lot of stuff around, and then trying to make sure that everything was there. And it was a struggle. It was a real struggle. And, how to fix things, how to make things better. Can we still work with it? So something else is, before starting anything new, and this goes especially if you're buying new equipment for stuff, know your numbers, right? Know what it is actually costing you to be in business every month, and get it as close to the penny as possible. What is your rent? What is your utilities? What is your cable? What is your internet? What is everything that is associated with running a business? What does that actually cost you per month? It is one of those that without those numbers, how can you say, yeah, we can do this, right? You need those numbers because you need to support. Well, hey, if we are currently doing $20,000 a month in business, in the profit margin of X, here's how much money is there. Can the business afford to take on a payment of a piece of equipment? Can the business afford to move into a building? Can the business afford to buy a building? Can it afford to purchase more? And what can it afford to do? So you really, really need to get a handle on your numbers to make sure that everything falls in place. In the beginning, it's like I said, just have that plan. You got everything in writing. Here's this. Now have a plan. How are we going to do this? How are we going to, what is the plan and how do we, stick to it? That's why I tell you guys, 3 times a week, morning mindset. Here's the plan for the day. Here's what we're going to do. We need to go ahead and set up. Here's the 5 things that we're going to accomplish. Here's everything that we're going to do. Now today, I had my list of things and then a lot of it went out the window because we found it from one of our corporate clients where we had auto batching of invoicing where we put stuff in and then it was supposed to send them an invoice. And these invoices can range from like $20 to, $150, $200, $500, not super big invoices. But, and some of them are really small. Like here's a shipping one. This is $25 invoice. And so it's supposed to batch them and then ship them out to them. Well, they had switched names as a business. They switched their whole name around and the person that we were dealing with was no longer there. So everything that we were sending wasn't going through. Well, on our side, we're not missing, $25 here, $50 here. But when everything said and added up, they hadn't received an invoice for this year, and it was a little over $2,000. And they're like, hey, we haven't seen an invoice. And so we went through and sure enough, here's what the issue was, is we weren't getting stuff sent back to us or as undeliverable. So we would have been able to know. And I didn't keep a close enough number on or a close enough eye on the books to say, hey, we have these open invoices that are out here. And it was the way that we do stuff is it gets invoiced and put in, but it comes in on the back end of things. So I had to spend today going back through every email and every order of theirs. It took me about 5-6 hours to go back through. And I know I probably missed some, but at the end of the day, that's my fault, right? If I missed an invoice, it's my fault to go because of not set up right there. So to go through and do that, yeah, that was a big challenge today to go through, figure out what order is what, how many prints, how many square inches, how many things like that, and to recreate invoicing for the last 4 months. It was a day, but that's the thing. Jerry's got it right. Tiny footprints get larger every day. That's what happened. Is looked at it, I'm like, whoa, this it was over 2K. So to look at it and be all right, we got to make sure that was taken care of. So now, okay, let's get everything on the same page. We've got our new contact, we've got our new email addresses. So from this point forward, we should be fine. But yeah, that was my day. I had a plan of here's what I was going to do, and that went out the window. So we still made sure, that we got our VIP members for DTF, their stuff went out today. Anybody that ordered rush order, their stuff went out today. But some of the other stuff didn't happen. And why? That's why we have a scheduled time of things to go out, 3 to 5 business days on a lot of it. So it allows us that leeway in case something like this pops up, because I didn't want to do anything else until I knew that was taken care of, because, hey, that's a big thing when, we're missing something like that. So it was a very, it wasn't a stressful day, but it was just a very like kicking the junk kind of day, because yeah, totally screwed that up. Something I thought was going to work for automation. And the reason I didn't catch it was because in the beginning of the year, they're slower. So, it's only, an invoice here or there. And then we both kind of noticed it here in the last week, because it should have auto batched and sent it out. We didn't see it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to put it in my list to check it. And it wasn't until they got in contact with me. He was like, hey, did you notice this? Nope, did not. So then I went in and checked, and sure enough, found out what was going on with it, was able to correct it. But spent the better part of the day invoicing, which isn't a bad thing, because when you're invoicing, that means you're going to get paid. So, it was a thing there. But as I say, have that plan, right? Have that plan of what you're going to do every day. When you're looking at a new piece of equipment, what's your plan to do with it? Especially when you're looking at printers, right? If you're looking at a sublimation printer, what's your plan with that? I know plenty of people that are part of the coffee mug mafia, which that's all they do is mugs. It's mug life, baby. That's all they do. And they just crush it at it. They don't mess with shirts. They don't mess with keychains. They don't mess with any of that other stuff. They just do one thing. They do one thing very well, and that's their plan for it. So when you're looking, and it didn't look at something like a wide format printer. If you're looking at a Roland, look at everything that can do: signs, banners, decals, canvases, magnets. The list goes on and on and on of things that you're able to print with that. Should you do it all? Right? Well, yeah, you want to be able to do it all, but realize, when you start doing it all, then, are you spreading yourself thin? Are you really, interested in doing each and every piece? You got to look, what can you focus on and what can you really do yourself and make that good money off of? So what's your plan with that machine? You can buy it, you can lease it. You got to make sure that you have the work there to afford the payment on it, because if not, then what are you going to do, right? The payment's going to come due and the money's not there because you thought you had it. And so I tell people all the time, outsource, outsource, outsource. If you're thinking about getting a laser, do you currently have, are you currently selling laser bolt items? Well, no, I'm going to get it and then I'm going to create the business for it. Well, why don't you create the business for it, sub it out to somebody like Renee. She'll take care of your laser work for you. You keep a portion of that back. And when you have the funds to either purchase one or make that monthly payment on it and know that you're good, then do it. Otherwise, now every month you're worried about getting this payment taken care of. It was us on DTF, looking to purchase that. When we bought the first one converted, and we moved our way up to 3 of those, and only 2 of them ever worked at a time because there's always one down with the converted printer. That's the nature of the converted ones. They're great for cutting your teeth, and if you want to get frustrated and you want to learn how to tear apart a printer and build it back up. But as far as production-wise, they're more trouble than they're worth. And when we were going through a new head every 4 to 6 weeks, at least in one of them, we realized for what we're spending on a head, that takes care of a payment. So let's just make the leap for a commercial one, because we already had the business there. We'd established it. We knew we had to do it because we were crushing it on printed HTV, because remember, there wasn't a whole lot of options before DTF for low volume. So that's what we were doing. Well, we could see that phasing out, which even now we think we're going to be able to add something new. Some puff is what we've been going back and forth with. So little sneak peek maybe down the future. But we knew then, hey, we can afford this, because here's what we're spending out currently for parts every 4 to 6 weeks. Hey, that can go ahead and go towards a payment, and now we're able to produce things faster with it. But we still wanted to have that. We had to plan for that. We had to know what we were getting ourselves into, because when you're going to drop $25,000 on a piece of equipment, you want to make sure that you have a plan in place to be able to support that payment on it or support buying it. And I know, I can just buy for China for half that. Absolutely you can. What's that support like? You on China time? You're calling them and setting up your WhatsApp at 1, 2 in the morning to make sure you're on the same page for it? Are you waiting, to talk to somebody and hear something, from a day or two? Are you waiting a week, 10 days for parts? What do you do when you're down? Do you have print protection in place to be able to help you with that? That's the reason why I did not do that. Yes, we could have saved money, but I wanted that support that came along with it. DTF is still way too new not to have that support system behind it. So, we paid for the premium price for that, and it has covered our butts and saved us more times than not when we ran into an issue. One of the big things that we ran into was last month. If you don't know, we had issues with our printer. Between our Roland and our DTF, parts-wise, we spent about $5,000 last month. That was on heads, because we needed 2 new heads in the DTF printer and a new board, and then a new head in our Roland. So all in all, it was about a $5,000 a month on just on parts. So this is where knowing your numbers is right. Just because you can sell something cheap doesn't mean you should, because what happens when something goes down? Are you going to fix it? Do you have the cash set aside to fix it? Do you have the credit card open to be able to order parts? If not, what do you do? Now you're stuck with a machine that isn't working, that you can't make the payments on because you can't make something to make the payments. So you have to know your numbers to be able to put that stuff back. If not, what do you do, right? Well, with us, we had our plan in place too. If something went down, we were able to continue selling our transfers. How were we able to do that? It was with our vendor. They have a print protection program in place where they'll print for you. Now, did we make any money? No. So we broke even, but we made no money. So when it comes to revenue, profit, all in all, with being down for 3 weeks, with the cost of what we spent out in materials, what we spent out in parts, what we lost in revenue, it was probably it was close to like a $10,000 hit for the month, by what we lost in revenue. Because, if we sold it at one thing, that's what we're buying it at. We weren't making much of anything, but all of our customers were still being taken care of. And that was what was important to us. Even if we lost a little, I want to make sure our customers were taken care of, because if not, hey, what happens? They're going to go somewhere else. So we wanted to make sure that they were taken care of. Was it worth it? Absolutely. We stuck around. We told everybody what was going on with it. We were still able to keep our deadlines in place, and we were back up and running. We were able to do good with it. But not having that plan in place for what happens when it goes down, that really that can really screw you on it. So make sure that you have that plan in place. And then on the flip side of that, make sure you have that backup plan. So plans are great. We can have it, but what happens when those plans go wrong, right? I mean, we've all done that, where we've had a plan go wrong. So you need to have that backup plan. And if not, you need to get a backup plan. You need to, if you are currently providing any service, embroidery, screen print, DTF, if you're providing that yourself, what happens when that goes down? How are you going to fulfill those orders? Do you have somebody that you can partner with that will help you on the DTF side, the embroidery side, the laser side, the cut vinyl side? If you don't have a plan in place, do that now. So that way, if something goes wrong, you are able to do it. Make sure that your numbers support that too. That's why I say, just because you can sell something cheap doesn't mean you should, because you need to buy it if something goes wrong, and you at least need to buy it to break even, because you don't want to lose money and you don't want to turn around customers. So you want to make sure that people are in place to do that. We're gonna before we keep going on, and you ask questions, get in here, be a part of this, get in there, put those comments in. Let's talk about some obstacles that you've overcome or that you're having in your business, and how that we can help each other out on that. Let's see, Coffee Mug Mafia. Yeah, Mug Life, baby, Mug Life. I'm telling you, Rye, we should put that on a shirt. Coffee Mug Mafia. I'll teach maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow might be a coffee morning. I know this is gonna be crazy to say. I don't even know if I have a coffee mug. I know there's coffee mugs up there, but I'm not a big coffee guy. But I did see that some Twix pods were up in the cupboard today. So maybe I'll have to have a Twix flavored coffee. And maybe that's how I'll start my morning tomorrow. But I need to get a mug for it. So maybe I should make a Mug Life one, because, well, this logo's already got the sunglasses on it. So Mug Life, maybe I need to cock them a little and we'll be good to go. Rachel, good afternoon to you. And Rice says, I agree. If you don't have the business to the work, outsourcing is key. 1,000%. Outsource. That's exactly what we did when we started off. When we were selling, our signs, banners, decals, things like that, we had partners that we would work with. And the biggest thing is, you look at shipping. How quick can I get something? Okay, so if their time to me is 3 to 5 days, then I'm telling my customers it's 7 to 10 business days. So that way I'm covered if something happens. And what we did is we kept money back from each job until we could afford a print of our own. Once we knew it was there, perfect. We bought it, and then we were able to grow from there. We quickly outgrew our 30-inch, went to 54-inch, and never looked back. So outsourcing was 100% the key. We still outsource now, 100%. There's things that, yes, we can do it in-house, but that time is better used to be doing something else. So let me outsource this. So now I'm double dipping. Somebody else is making something for me that I'm selling for a profit. And in that time that I was doing this, I can be doing this to sell for a profit. There is nothing wrong with outsourcing at all. You are, at the end of the day, people buy from you. They don't say, well, did you do this 100%? No, they don't do that. If they do, are they really your customer? Do you really want to do that? I said, sorry, Todd, I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why DTF is. Do you mean Dr. Fungus Toe? No, I don't, Dr. Fungus Toe. That needs to be put in the shirt, because we're not messing with that. Yeah. Service is everything. Luckily, the partners that we've worked with, we've had great service for them. There's a few in some different companies, and if you ever want to have a private conversation with me, catch me at a trade show, I will tell you 100% the companies that I would stay away from, because of service issues, and because the marketing machine on them is amazing, but the back end on them is not the greatest at all. And some of them really want to do better. They just haven't got to that point yet. There's two that really stick out to me, and yeah, I have no problem saying there. Try and not bash anybody because everybody tries. But if you do me dirty, like one of them did, I will turn everything off to that. And it wasn't until after the fact they're like, "Oh, we didn't realize this is what you're capable of doing." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "So this is your loss, and yeah, this is I'm just over it." Now, another one will, be there. Hey, how can we help? How can we make things better? Those is what I'm looking for because we're not right. We're not 100% right. Never. There's always room to improve on us. So, if you ever have an issue with us, just reach out to us. Let us know if there's, a quality issue, a cut issue, a print issue. You just don't like me? Cool. Just let me know. Now, am I going to change myself for you? No. But at least I know you don't like me. So, I will, I'll try not to put it out there for you. And Michelle, and we continue, and we appreciate that you continue to give us service while your machines were down. Yeah, and that's what we had to do. We took care of everybody that was taking care of us. There was things that we lost out on. There was a ton of shipping charges that we ate because what they would charge for shipping was about twice as much as what we charged for shipping. So we just ate it. There wasn't anything we could do. We'd already charged for shipping. I can't go back and be like, listen, they have a different shipping provider and a different shipping account, and it was twice as much. We just ate it. That's just how it was because I couldn't do that, so we had to make it there. I'm your partner. Thanks, Dawn. Thank you for being a partner with us too. We all wish I had more time. Hey, you know what? I don't wish I had more time. What we wish we had is better time management. Because at the end of the day, you know what everybody in this earth has in common? They have the same 24 hours in the day, right? I mean, it's right. Whether you are the poorest of poor or the richest of rich, you have the same 24 hours a day. And it's how you use those 24 hours in the day. And when you say that you don't have enough time in the day, do a time audit. And when you do a time audit, you start thinking, maybe so, hey, can you get up an extra hour early to get stuff done? Can you stay up a little hour extra to get things done? Do you have? I don't even know what's the last thing that I watched on Netflix. Beef. Did you binge watch Beef? Maybe you don't do that, and you spend that time working on the business. Now, there is that balance between work life and balance, that work life balance. Yeah, I want to spend time with my kids. Yeah, I want to be able to watch a TV show. No, I don't want to have to work on my business all the time. But you have to realize that there are times that you need to work on your business, and there's times that you can take a break on it. But if there's a point where you're saying, I need more time, but you're spending hours scrolling through social media, you're spending a good half hour, 45 minutes on TikTok, you're binge watching something on Netflix or Hulu, maybe you don't have a time problem, you have a time management problem. So really do that. Get out a notebook, write down what time you woke up this morning. 4:45. All right. What did I do? Well, I woke up, I had bathroom time, I got, did my, my shower shave thing. I did all this. We were, in the office by 6 a.m. Okay. 6 a.m. we were here. I worked on this to this, this to this, this to this, and really keep a log of what you do throughout the day. And you'll start seeing patterns of what you do. We try and do time blocks where here's when we're checking emails, and when we're doing design time. Here's when we're doing production time. Here's when we're calling it good. One of the things that, especially being back at home, I try and do is I do emails, I check everything, and I try and set up all artwork before we take the kids to school in the morning. That's why I'm usually in the office between 5 and 6 every morning, and I do that. Take the kids to school, and then it's come in, and we have our 10 a.m. cutoff for same day service. So we use those 2 hours there to work on any design, work on any types of stuff there, get everything set up. And then production will usually start between 10 and 12. It's also the time if we have any meetings, I try and schedule those there. So production always going by 12. Production can go 12 to 5, 12 to 4, depending on the day. But what I really try and do is on days that we have to make sure to pick up the kids, is I block that out. I'm done at 2:30, so that way I can go and we can pick those up and I can come back and keep working. And usually by 3, 4 o'clock, All printers are shut off, so that way it gives us ample time to make sure that everything is packaged and shipped out for the day, so that way we can meet the UPS. Now, there's times that we'll come back and work, and times that we'll work late because we can actually get out to the airport and we can meet UPS out there, I think, until 8:30, and there's times that we've done that on rush jobs for our good clients. What constitutes a good client? Somebody that has artwork that's print ready, somebody that's paying for that service, and these are ones that are spending thousands of dollars, and they're like, "Is there any way you can help us out with this?" Hey, we've never done this for you before. They're usually pretty good with it. They're in a pickle. We can do that. We can help you out with it. Here's what it's going to be, and we do our best for it. So you get to know your clients, you get to know your customers, and you take care of the ones that take care of you. Like right now, we released our VIP program. There's only 20 spots to fill in it, and guess who the top 20 customers are? We're going to make sure that those ones are taken care of first. Why? They joined our program. They wanted to be in there, the first line service. Now, there are going to be some spots starting to open up. I want to say we had probably about 5 that we've sent the stuff out to, and they haven't replied. I gave them till tomorrow and said, "Hey, listen, if this isn't if this isn't paid for by tomorrow, we're canceling this out, and it's going back in the system." So because there's a wait list that's starting for it. We take care of ones that take care of us, and that's what we're going to do. Because it's one of those where you take care of what you take care of, or who takes care of you. It's that two-way street. So we do our best, and then from there, it's our VIPs or when somebody asked me about the print schedule and how that's working. Hey, I placed an order. I asked for rush service. Do the VIP memberships, do they go in front of me? If you are not a VIP and you place an order, a standard order, your production time is 3 to 5 business days. If it goes out sooner, great, but expect 3 to 5 business days for production, and then shipping times. Shipping times can be 1 to 3 days depending on what zone you live in from us. Now, if you signed up or if you paid for or requested an expedited, faster, rush, that's the word, rush production or rush shipping. So, hey, I want, next day. Okay, I want same day. Guess what? You're going in the front, and that's from there, and then it goes into our VIPs, and then it goes into their standard orders. So, yes, we still make sure that everybody's taken care of. We still put it on there. We're just making sure that our VIPs are taken care of first on it. So you'll get it out there, and we'll see it on there. I just coined a new phrase. Which one was that, Chuck? Which one? I need to know if a blue logo will show up on a blue shirt. Depends on the color blue, because look, there's blue right here. There's blue right there. There's another blue right in there. There's a blue in here. There's blue here. That's all different blues. So depends on the blue, right? Done. Well, just when I think I'm going, I'm going on this crickets. Going on what? What do we do? Yes, we do, Michelle. Yeah. Who wouldn't like you? You would be surprised. We were at a trade show in Denver, and we were at dinner out with a group of people, and somebody came up to me and laid into me for being so positive about business and about things. And they dropped some few choice F-bombs, and some of the other people around was like, "Did that just really happen?" I'm like, "Yeah." I said, I've often said that you could eat everybody that walks through your door $100 bill, and someone will bitch that you didn't give them 2. And that's just how it works. You can't make everybody happy, and the only person you need to worry about making happy is yourself. Make your friends, your family, make sure that they're well taken care of. But yeah, that was, it shocked me that happened. I didn't know what to do. I was kind of like, did that just happen? Like, wow. Meanwhile, other people in Denver showed up with bags of goodies. Like, I was going to be in town for a month, knowing that I'm only going to be there for 3 days. I'm like, what the hell do I do with this? Let's have a good time with people. Yeah. People who don't like themselves, right? Yeah, people who don't like themselves. Will it really bother you if someone don't like you? Not really. No, because I don't let what other people think about me make me who I am. I don't care what anybody else is doing. I don't care what anybody else is doing in their business or personal life. Unless it affects me personally, like something they're doing. Why? Why do I need to waste a thought, a breath, anything on that? Don't need to worry about it. I don't need the stress. I don't need that confusion. I don't need that drama. So I really try to stay away from all of those things. But if it directly affects me, yeah, then I'll have to have some issues with it. But It is what it is, right? You can't make everybody happy and go on from there. I wish I could, just not enough business yet. Wish you could what, Don? What do you wish you could? That right? You were right there, right there, Renee. Right? That it was like crickets dropped. Like we're just like, did that really just happen? And then the person went on the next day at the show and they won like a $500 gift certificate to one of the vendors, and we're like, so much for karma, right? Oh yeah, yeah. Don't hey, whenever you're ready, Don. When you have it and business is there, and because this thing is when you're the VIP member. We'll run through that real quick. Your VIP member. We're just starting with 20 spots because I want to make sure that they're all taken care of. I believe once we're a month into it or so, we can probably open up 5, 10 more, and then we'll look and see. Uh, but your front of line service, so most of your stuff, most everything you have that 3 to 5 business days. So everything's going to go out within 2 days. Most things will go out next day, and even some stuff will go out same day. And that's you're not paying any rush production fees on it. You will still have the rush shipping charges if you request those. You get your own 15% off code. So, hey, you're saving 15% off that. Believe me, that covers for the rush fees in there. And you're old enough. We have somebody, that's member, and they've already dropped close to $1,000 this week on things. And a lot of their stuff had been rushed before. And we joked that, hey, you know how much money I'm saving? I'm like, yeah, you know how much money you're costing me? But it was one of those things that I wanted the recurring revenue as opposed to having to build this out. So it worked out fine for it. So yeah, we'll open that up, and you can always reach out when you're ready, and we can make an exception for you, Don. The Mug Mafia, right? That's right, Mug Life, baby, Mug Mafia. We'll make it there. So talking about all this, going through our list of things to overcome obstacles, we had get it in writing. Hey, the business just didn't work. Things happened that were beyond my control, and so it kind of fell apart. The storefront fell apart. There was disagreements. There was things said that that were misunderstood, and there's not a lot of coming back from it. You can only hope to move on for it. So then I went through that of knowing my numbers and that I'm like, can I make this work? And absolutely, we could have continued on with it, put it there, but that would have really put a financial strain on us. A storefront isn't something that I needed or wanted, but I was willing to jump in and help out and help some business. One, create a new business and help it grow, and help out some other businesses with it as well. It wasn't something that we necessarily needed. And when you're talking, for all in on a building cost of about $4,500 a month, could have we did it? Yeah, but it would have really taken a lot out of our financial pocket. So is it right for me to make my kids, my wife, our family, everything suffer? No, that's being selfish. It's better to take the lumps and just say, hey, this isn't going to work out. And at the end of the day, if it costs $150,000, that's what it's going to cost. There's nothing I can really do for it. When you sign paperwork and you break leases and things don't work out, you're at the mercy of your landlord of what they can do and what they decide on. Because when you sign a lease, you're there for it. That's one thing that that COVID taught us. I'd already been through this before when with COVID and the mall and what that cost me to pay for a storefront that wasn't open. So I didn't want to have to do that again. And it is what it is. So we were fortunate enough at this time to move everything back to the house. Unfortunately, we had done some changes, and so now it is like packed sardines in here. And it comes to the thing of, what do we do now? Do we build a building out back? Do we build a bigger garage? Do we convert our garage? And we thought the thing that makes the most sense is we have a 14 by 30 one-car garage that's attached to the house. Is just turn that into a shop. Electrical will be cheaper. It'll be cheaper to finish off because 3 of the walls are already finished. We just got to redo a ceiling. We got to add in some electrical, add in heating and air. But it'll probably cost us $5,000-$10,000 to do that. And that was the plan for last month. Was here, let's do that. And then we took a hit on equipment not working. So yay rah. So that will still continue to happen. We're just a little tight right now on space
and we're gonna go through some because we had things figured out before, and now it's trying to refigure them out again. So we will get to that point to make things work again. But um, there's no shame in working out of your house. I've had the opportunity to be in one, two, three, four, five storefronts now, and that's ranging everything from a 400 square foot store to an 8,500 square foot store. And what allowed us to be in those was the numbers. COVID really helped us define whether we needed a storefront or not, and we didn't. We were pushing so much of our business online that we really didn't need it. And getting back into a storefront, one of the things on my end is I realized that I started falling out of love with the business because it started feeling like a job again, or I was tied to it. I had to come in, I had to be there, I had to do this, I had to do that, and it just started not to be fun. And I thought everything would work out, and that was my big thing. Is I made a lot of concessions, thinking that yep, this we'll just go ahead and do this. That we'll make this work. I'll do what it takes to make it work. And then at the end of the day, I realized that this was a total blessing in disguise because I I wasn't happy. I was able now to get back and do my own thing. And um, one, the big thing was travel. I wanted to be able to travel more shows, and I really felt like I couldn't because of that storefront. We did, and it felt like like something was off, even because we had traveled 3 4 times in the matter of like 6 weeks, and that was what it was going to be like, and that's what it is now. This summer, like this year, we still get, Corey's headed to Tumblrcon next month. I was going to hit skills, and I thought about it, but just with what the way that flights were and everything with that, I'm not going to be able to swing for that because airfare went crazy this year. There's 2 shows that we wanted to do. We still wanted to get to the PDS show down in Nashville, but that's expensive, and there was another show in Dallas Fort Worth towards the end of the year that we wanted to hit. And then next year, in November, we've got Disney. So we'll be gone for a week for Disney. And then when we look to January next year, we've got Long Beach Impression Show. And then, February, we're trying to figure out, are we going to be able to do APA out in Vegas again? And then vacation at the end of February. So there's still a bunch of travel in there, and we're just not sure what all we can do. So some of those things have to move. Not having the storefront, allows that fluidity of being able to work as many hours or as little hours as we want, just because it's easy to get into for it. Rachel, did you drop your recent storefront? Yeah. So storefront is no longer, no more. Um, and believe me, I was going through a dark time there for a little bit where I really second guessed everything I did. Renee's a great talk. When I finally told her, she was just like, "What the f?" Like, and then I think we spent half an hour one day just talking. I'm like, I'm just going back to work because to see what kind of jobs were out there, and then I realized I love what I do at this. So to go work for somebody else, I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could, unless it was in this industry and I could make my own schedule and do my own thing. Then I probably could. But it was a really trying time for me where I wasn't sure if this is my calling or what I should do, or if I'm going down the right path. We've tried to do a lot to help a lot of people. And I thought, like at the end of the day, I'm like, am I doing the right thing? I've always tried to help as many people as I can. Give it the advice that of the things that we went through, the things that we've done. But you can only do so much. You can only feel, is this right or is this wrong? Is it something that's worth doing? So it's tough. Like I said, there is no right or wrong way to do anything. Um, but what I have found is there's a lot of internet experts out there. Well, I saw a comment on something, they were talking DTF, and they listed all these things about DTF, and about 75% of the things that they listed, that they had listed as fact, was in fact wrong. And then they said, well, that's my opinion on it. And I was like, well, they said, as somebody, as an early adopter of DTF, we've been doing DTF since 2020. Um, I'm like, I feel like we've got a pretty good handle on a lot of this. Are we an expert? No. But do we have do we have a pretty good handle on it? I believe so. And so when I see somebody say, oh, they've been doing this 5 days and they're out there putting out these things that are facts, because they read some stuff, and I was like, man, see, that's where this whole thing is wrong, because people think that you're seeing something, or because they read it as, here's a fact. Oh, that's what it is. I'm like, God, uh, is that what I'm doing? No, because I always say, here's what I know. Here's my experience. Here's what we've learned. And then I hope you take, some knowledge from that and make it your own, and help your business one way or another. So there's just a lot out there for it. And yeah, so yeah, storefront no more, which kind of got in this, these obstacles about things. As I said, see, I used to be embarrassed about working from home. Now I wear it as a badge of honor. Absolutely, I don't mind working from home, and I figure if somebody doesn't want to do business with us because our shop's out of our house, then they're probably not my customer anyway. Like I look at it, when like this, we started the VIP program, right? And let's say that everyone in that group, they orders $250 of transfers a week, right? That's not a big large order. That's roughly on their discount, let's say 60 70 feet of transfers. That's 60 70 square feet of transfers a week for them. I mean, at the end of the day, that's $250,000 business. I'm fine just serving those 20 people. I don't see any problem with that. So it's one of those where you do the best with what you have, and if they don't like it, then so what? COVID changed the way that a lot of people feel about buying from people online, working from home. It made things a lot easier. So there were some good things that came out of it. Don says, I realized it when I gave up my storefront. The stress was killing me. Yeah, that's stress, man. That's the thing, is there was so much stress that came along with that. Just to know that, hey, we had to make sure that this was covered. Hey, we had to make sure these bills were taken care of. Hey, we've got this customer. Hey, we still got people coming in that just don't know what they want. So you're spending time with that. And once I have the printer going, it's hard to walk away from that. You just can't just be like, okay, here's what I'm going to do, because you could have a 5 minute conversation or an hour conversation. Then what? So that was what the storefront, those gave me so much stress. I miss our little 400 square foot store, the first one we started in, because we were only open by appointment. And most of it was all Saturdays for pickup. We were open from 9 to 1, and that was it for pickup. Everything else was by appointment. So it really made it easy for me. I would get off work and go there and work at my day job and go there, and it felt great. And then, everything just went crazy from there. So proud of all that you've built. I was around when you had the mall store. Yeah. And that was, there was so many people that, I saw your store and I wanted to emulate that. I saw how you build this, but I didn't want to ask because I didn't want to think it was weird. I'm like, absolutely ask, because that's what I did when I seen people that had storefronts. I'm like, hey, how'd you do that? What did you use here? How was that? Because I wanted to know. Ask those questions. We're here to help it out. I was really stressed, because there was times when a store, especially a mall, because there's so many rules that come along with it that you have to follow, and it just wasn't my cup of tea. But it felt great. Like, if you would have told me 30 years ago, if you would have told high school Todd, hey, the mall that you're hanging out every day, you're going to have a store in here one day, I'd have been like, no way. And we did. So it was one of the things that we set a goal for to accomplish. And when I moved back there, I don't ever want a storefront again. If I ever talk about getting a storefront, you guys talk me out of it, right? You talk me out of it. I can have a commercial space with no storefront. Yes. Storefront, no, because I just don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that. But the rent there was amazingly cheap at the mall, and that was one of the things. Uh, he said it was more of a half hour, but it was a common eye open look at the jobs available. Yeah, it was, to look at what some jobs are paying, 50, 60, 70, 80, $100,000 jobs. And you're working from home on a lot of it. And a lot of it was like, oh yeah, it's 40 hours for this. And you looking like, I could totally do that job. Like, I should apply for it. And it's like, especially here in Illinois, where minimum wage is creeping up on $15 an hour, that's $35,000 a year to go work minimum wage at McDonald's and get a free meal and health care and vacation. I mean, it doesn't take a lot to be that. I remember back when you were making 50K a year, you were balling, right? You were a baller at that. And now that's not too far from minimum wage. So yeah, things have changed a lot. And what do you want to do? If I can get a consulting gig, sweet. And even on our side, one of the things, like I said, we don't push nearly enough is all of our affiliates. It doesn't cost you anything to use our links. It costs you $0. What's it put in our pocket? 3%, 5%, 8%. It doesn't put a lot in our pocket, but when that could equal out between all the affiliates, maybe it's $1,000, $2,000 a month, all that adds up. And so that's why I said, well, you're going to start seeing us push more of those. And it's because it doesn't cost you anything to do it. It doesn't cost you anything to click on our Amazon links. It doesn't cost you anything. You're going to buy it anyway. So why not support somebody in the community that has a link that might make a little off of it? I don't see any problem with that. And Don, I love working from home. Me too. I really enjoy it. I enjoy the business. I enjoy everything more about it. All right. Oh man, those people. I almost lost it when I thought I bought the wrong equipment because of those experts. Absolutely. Right. And that's the thing where now they're an expert on it. Like I've seen so many DTF experts come out of the woodwork in the last 2 years, 3 years. When it's like, how long have you been doing this? 3 months. What? And you're an expert at this? Come on. You're selling converted printers, or you're hawking ink, or that you don't know what you're doing on it. Like I could totally sell that stuff, but one, I don't want to carry the inventory for it. Two, I'd rather work with a partner that can do it and just provide a link and be like, here's the stuff that we're using. If you like the results that we're having here, go for it. I'll put you in contact with them, because that's the thing is, I'm doing this because one, it helps supports our business, because it helps us grow. We help support you. We do our best, to help as much as we can with it. And I don't want to give out any crap information. Like, here's our experience with it. Like on white toner, I know not a whole lot about it, and we have one, and we've used it, and we mostly use it for temporary tattoos and water slides. That's the biggest thing that we use it for. And there's so much other things that we can use, or we use it on the mugs or on the tumblers and that. But we haven't done any videos on it. Why? That was our goal for this year. That was at the commercial space. There's a room that we're going to turn into a studio, and we're going to put that in there. And I'm glad that we didn't go through the investment of that. I still need to do that. I just don't have the room for it. When we thought we had everything here, it's tough. And so now it's reassessing. Can we make it back here? And that's why the video content came to a screeching halt, because one, I was like I said, I was in a very dark, depressing spot of what am I going to do? And the last thing I want to do is go on and make videos to tell people, how to do something, how we're doing it, show off a product, and that when my heart wasn't in it. And slowly but surely, my heart is getting back in it. And that way, we're still there. We're still putting everything that we have in it. Let's see. Where did I leave off on? Yeah, right. I have, but now I don't listen anymore. Yeah, I try not to listen. I try to guide people and be like, here's my thought process behind it. And when it totally gets swept on the rug, or even worse, when they delete comments because they're called out on, God, that pisses me off. They get all the crap for free also. Yeah. Yep. I do my main job from home now and love being able to be from home, close to my son's school for drop off and pick up. No more commuting stress is a blessing. I love that I'm able to take the golf cart to go pick up the kids, the golf cart to take them to school, the golf cart just to drive in the neighborhood. I can do everything I need to besides UPS from the golf cart. So I really enjoy that. I don't have that stress of it. I don't have the added expenditure of, now here's spending out on gas. Here's spending out. The other thing is, I eat out a lot more when we're at the storefront, because here I may not eat throughout the day. I may, have something in the morning, but then just work through it. Storefront, oh, let's get lunch. Oh, let's get this. So I was just expending more on that. I was getting fatter and fatter. And hey, the company name was Fat Dad, so it didn't really bother me. But I just seen that we were spending more out on stuff, and it was like, kind of miss it. So do you still have Level Up QC or someone else running it? It is, in fact, officially ours. We did get everything taken care of to be able to have that. We kind of went through a process of where we weren't really doing a whole lot with it because there were still multiple people on it. So at any given time, if there was any money in there, somebody could have came in and just taken it out and been like, hey, it's half mine, right? Or quarter mine, or here's what it is. So now that we officially have all the paperwork and stuff, then we can start pushing more of our schools through that, more of our online fundraisers, the things that we were doing with Fat Dad. that's what's going to move over to the level up side. But we wanted to make sure that we had all the ducks in the row before things are that. But we do officially still have that, and Corey will be doing just fine with there from there. And it works out well because there's things we want to. We wanted to make Fat Dad. We want to turn that more into the print side of things. So Fat Dad Print Co. That's where that came about. That's what you're going to see things changing over to, because Fat Dad brand custom design. It doesn't explain who we are. Fat Dad Print Company does, because hey, we print things. So it's going to take. We're going to move some of our retail side of things, our team stores, our fundraising, our benefit over the level up side, and that's what the plan is for that. I had an angry client today tell me, just get some dark transfer sublimation paper and sub my order on the black shirts. Yeah. No, not happening. I have not emailed with Microsoft. It isn't appropriate. Love that. Linda, thanks for stopping by. Kristen, your DTF prints are awesome. Thanks. I love that. I love that. Ooh, and look, Dancing's at home. His prints are wonderful. I tell everyone, love it, love it, love it. With my schedule at the fire department, this is Darren for you. My schedule at the fire department, having a set time just doesn't work. I learned that trying to teach MMA, and personal training. Yeah, and that's the thing. When you have a job, or a real job, something that you have to go to, it's tough to work around that second tier, this hobby into business, right? This side hustle. You're trying to do so much with it, but you're still limited by what you can do from the job. When I was running the HVAC company, I would be in there, I'd be in there 6, 7 in the morning, and 4 or 5 at night, and then I'd go straight from there over to the mall, and we were at the mall from 5 to 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock. And when that got to a point where that was my life, Monday through Friday, and then Saturday being there at the mall, I became very stressed out. And we were when did we finally make the switch? Was it Indy? We went to the Indianapolis show, I think, and that's where I said, this is it. I'm putting in my notice, and we're done. And that's kind of what happened. Was notice went in, and then we worked out an exit strategy out of there, so I could work part-time and help a transition period in building this, and took the leap. It took a huge pay cut to do it, but my stress level went down so much, and that was the real big thing. And then we just kept growing and kept growing and kept growing, and things started to look up, and then COVID happened and things looked down, and then we came out of that better than what we were, because we became a leaner, meaner fighting machine. But we needed to build up our clientele back, because there was a lot of things that we left off in 2020 that other people swooped in and took in 21. And so that was what 2022 was about, was rebuilding the brand, getting back in contact with those orders, because we still do retail orders for a lot of people, but there was a lot of softball teams that we lost. There was a lot of leagues that we lost because we weren't printing, and they found somebody else, and somebody else that was starting up a new business came in. There's people that were on the team, or a president or somebody that they knew. They started, hey, they make shirts, so they went ahead and did it. And hey, kudos to those people that went out there and started a business. Kudos to those people that are still now around, stood behind it. Because a lot realized that I'm not making any money, so this isn't it for me. So there's still a handful that we work with, that we do things, and we try and keep those ones happy, because it can be anywhere from a $3,000 $10,000 order, and when you know what your numbers are, you didn't need a whole lot of those just to be happy. So that's what we did. Which going through my list of things here, like I said, get it in writing, know your numbers, have a plan, have a backup plan, so when the plan doesn't work out. Next one is get a support network. You guys may not know it, but you're my support network. Yes, I do have a close net group that we do things with. I am a part of a few masterminds, but one of the things about Morning Mindset was it. That's my crew to help get the day going, right? We talk about everything in there, and we do what we can to help each other have a successful day. And I felt like I was kind of cheating out a lot of people, because I didn't tell them what was going on. And I still, here it is. This all went down. It started in March, and by the end of March, we were out of our storefront. So we basically had 2 weeks to figure everything out. So it made March really tough. April, when we thought things were getting better, that's when we had, basically we were short $10,000 for the month. So things didn't pan out, and now here May is starting off, and May's looking good. So we're starting to rebound and bounce back, which is a good thing. But it's been a trying time. But I didn't tell anybody. Why? Because this next one that we'll talk about. But our people that we had a support team with, a group with, not everything is sunshine and rainbows. And I'm really good about being transparent with people. Especially like I said, in the business, it's not for everybody. Just because everybody can start a business doesn't mean that everybody should have a business. I know that sucks to say, but some people just can't handle it. They're not ready for it. They don't know how to deal with the stress from it. They don't want the stress from it. They see the money at the end, and you see all the TikTok gurus thinking, "Oh, this is all I got to do, and I just got to have something go viral, and I can make thousands of pennies." But that's just not the case. So I try and be transparent in what I do and what I say, and here's my advice from this is what I've done, right? Prior to this, I've grown businesses. I've taken failing businesses, turned them around to become profitable businesses and sell for a profit. We've done good. I knew my business, I knew my number side of things, so I knew we could make this work. I knew a lot of this to make work falls on me, right? I have to go out there and get the business. I have to make the contacts. I have to follow up. I have to do a lot of this, and this is where getting other people involved so it doesn't fall on me 100% is really helpful. And this is where you guys come in. You're my support staff. When things go bad, I tell you guys. And I'm sorry for keeping so many of you in the dark for so long, but I didn't know how. Because of this next one. Don't feel ashamed, right? When these obstacles happen in your business and things don't go the way that you anticipated them going, don't feel ashamed, right? I did. I felt like such a failure, like it was my fault, like like there was something I did wrong, that I was a bad business partner, that I was a bad business owner, that I didn't know what the hell I was doing, that I was talking out of my ass. And I really second guessed everything that I did in business and in life. And it took its toll on me. There's a lot of, I don't sleep as it is, but there is even more sleepless nights. There was a lot of tears shed. There's a lot of crying. Like there's a lot of soul searching on what needed to happen. And I think for the most part, we were better than where we were. Especially emotionally, um, personally. There's still some doubt that's in there, but at the end of the day, I did. I felt bad because how can I tell people, hey, this is how you can build a business, and then I have a business that fails, and it didn't necessarily fail because of me or the the way that we do things. It failed because of miscommunication, and especially when you're in partnerships with people, that's pretty much what causes a lot of that failure is that miscommunication. So don't be ashamed of when things don't turn out right. You just got to get over it, and that brings us to our last one, right? Is to just suck it up, right? Sitting on your ass isn't going to get anything done, right? It's just not. You can sit there and you can bitch and you complain and you can say, what if this and I shouldn't do this and that person's an a hole because they did this and because of them this happened and whoa, wah, wee, wah, wah. No, suck it up, move on. And I had to get to that point where it was like I knew I could do it. I knew that we could do that. I just had to suck it up and figure out how and the why and go through that. And yeah, sometimes you gotta eat that shit sandwich and you just gotta move on. It is not always going to be sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes you just have to make no money for a month and see it all go out the door, everything that you're building up, because you're trying to keep your customers happy. That's just what you got to do. If you're not prepared to do it, then maybe being a business owner isn't right for you. Maybe you're not charging enough, so you don't have that little back stock there to help out with that. Maybe you're not able to make that happen. Think about that before you take on some of these jobs. Are you able to redo it? And what happens if something comes up? Like, how do you make things better? What can you do on it? Because at the end of the day, you either what is it? Shit or get off the pot, right? Either do something or not. Just there's no in between with it. It's gonna go from there for it. Let's see. Let's see. Where was I on it? Let's see. Was that Don's there, or that was Darren's? Kristen says, I'm going to be putting the off-duty prints here in a little bit. Love it, Kristen. Thanks for that. Do I have a new code for JP Plus? It should be the same code, 9PHW2. The code should still be working, 9PHW2. If that code is not working, let me know. But as far as I know, everything was still good with it. Kristen said, my side hustle suffers a little bit during the school year, but I'm hoping to be able to step it up over the summer. I'm an aide for preschool and kindergarten. Yeah. And that's the thing, we all have schedules, that you try and work around. And the same thing for us is like in the school season, it makes it a lot easier. Kids are up out of the house. Boom. We don't have to worry about them because they're there until it's time to go. Once they're on breaks and they're home, man, it makes the day a little more confusing because it's trying to get stuff done. And I set a schedule for Corey where it's like here, because if you didn't know, Corey and Krista take care of almost all of our shipping. So any notes, any box building, any packaging, any shipping, anything that has to do with that. They also take care of any of the ordering on merchandise stuff. So any of our blanks, apparel, things like that. About the only thing that I'm in control of is the supplies for DTF print for the printers, because I know what my build 2 levels are in that. Other than that, they take care of all that for me. They take care of all the production side of it. So any of the shirts that need pressed, any of the orders that need done, to take care of that. So that's a huge thing. And that's, when she said something about going to TellerCon, I'm like, it's your business too. Go enjoy it, have fun, learn something new, because that's what she's going to do. But it's a partnership that works out well. Now sometimes I can be a little overbearing and I can say things that I probably shouldn't say, and maybe she has to contact HR, but HR doesn't really listen to her. They nod their head and they say, yeah, I feel your pain. I see your concern, and we'll see what we can do to work on that. HR is a joke at our company. It's not really. I take a lot into account with it, but it's tough to separate that work and personal life. And I do my best to try and do that and try to remember that at the end of the day, it's just, I get to go home to the same person. And if I don't make a happy life or a happy wife, I'm not going to have a happy life. So I need to be better about that. I do get customers from the staff at the school I work at, which is awesome right there. Yeah, right. This is it. The printing YouTube community is my support group. 100%. 100%. That was the whole reason, when I started the group, when I was in another group, I was an admin in that group we grew up from 4,000 to 40,000 when I could see the way that things were turning. And I kind of voiced my concerns about it. I was shut out. And then I realized that a lot of the people that I helped, I had no longer had access to, so I tell everybody, build your own community so that way you own it and you're able to this is going to sound bad, but you're able to profit from it, right? You're able to make those sales. You're able to provide that knowledge. You're able to do those things. And that's where, building our group came from was, hey, I need to get back into this. We set goals for it that we haven't hit. And it's because I haven't really tried. And so I need to make it a little better to get things going for it. Chuck says, try to make it to Monday, Wednesday, Friday when the day job doesn't get in the way. There we go. We love when you're able there. I sometimes have sneak peek at Morning Mindset when it's on during snack time in the morning. Love that, Kristen. Thankful Corey and you are on the other side of it. We're not 100% on the other side of it, because there's still the lease part with it. I could still be on the hook for $150,000. What do? Can't change that. I can only hope that it won't be that much. And if it ends up being it, then we got to work through that. So we're almost there. And all I can do is continue to work every day and do the best that we can with what we have. But we'll see how it is. What's the design on this sleeve? Oh, it's this one. Right there. Let's see if I can make it so there. That's that one. We did this on a Tuesday with Todd where we showed placement. You can go back. Unique placements for prints, like arm sleeves, and that's why it's there. So when you're, driving window, that's your best friend's ride, right there. It says it on that side. On this one, I don't think I know. I have it at the here, and then we did inside the hood. All of this is DTF prints, by the way. Thanks, Todd. Yeah, right. Shit sandwich, right? It did not necessarily fail. It just it was time to move. It 100% failed. 100% failed, and it was due to miscommunications, not getting things in writing, having different perspectives on things, knowing what somebody had brought to the table versus what they didn't bring to the table, trying things that probably shouldn't have been tried, doing things that probably shouldn't, doing things one way when somebody else expects them to be done another way. There's just a lot of miscommunications with it. So, do you have hard feelings? No. Could there be some? Yes. You make the most of it and you move on from there, because nothing's going to fix it or change it or go on from there. But hey, we knew the numbers and I knew I could make it work. But at the other side of it, it just didn't work the way that it should have worked out. I save all those notes, even the one that you have written on scrap paper. Yeah, I'm going to get better about that, because when Corey's not here, I'm like, where the hell is all the shipping supplies at? Where is this at for? And so I would write on just anything. I think Renee keeps all of them too. And there's a couple times I would write jokes on it, knowing that she had multiple orders coming in. I wouldn't give the punchline till another one. But yeah, I think I wrote on packing paper one time, like, I couldn't find the stuff. Here's what you're going to get for it. Trusting. And that's the thing, is when you go into a partnership, that's what you're doing, is you're putting your trust in someone else, that they have the same outlook, the same goals, the same values. They have everything the same as you. And even if there's one little fault that's off, that could bring the whole thing down. And so you want to make sure that when you're getting into a partnership, that it's no fault of either person, right? Because you both are your own person, so you're trying to make that. Well, it's like marriage, right? It is. And so you have to have that dating period first. How's everything working? How can I do with this? Is this something to do with? And then how can I, continue to, excuse me, let me take a drink. I need to grow things from there. So ask those tough questions. Hey, how do you handle this? Hey, are you comfortable with this? Have that open book policy, that open door policy. If you have an issue, come to me with it. Don't say snide comments. Don't say, off color remarks. Don't say this, when you think people are out of earshot. Don't let your actions show how you really feel about things, right? If you have an issue, say something, nip it in the bud before things get started. From the get go, have things in writing. Hey, this is what you're accounted for. This is what you're accounted for. This is how sales are going to come in. This is where money's going to go. This is the bills that are going to get paid. This is everything that's going to happen with it. Get on board with everything, so that way Like I said, for me, going into it, it was going up to this point, it was 10K out. So when you look at from level up, that cost me 10K over how many X amount of months, lost 10K last month. So, in the last November, December, January, February, March, April, in the last 6 months, to be out of pocket $20,000 makes me sick. Like, that totally, if you know me, I like to pretend to buy things and then never pull the trigger on it, because do I really need it? But that gets me, my mid 2000s Porsche Cayenne Turbo that I've been saying I was going to buy for the last 10 years. Each year it gets cheaper, so one of these years I'm going to do it. But that gets me things that I want. That's half of a new UV printer that I want. Those are $40,000. In the last 6 months, I'm out of pocket 20. That very easily would have got me right there on it. So we would have been on set to have it here. So you got to be prepared for that. And it makes me sick to think about that now, that was 20,000, that $20,000 is just in the last 6 months. It was crazy. That's crazy. Crazy. And another note, I was looking at shipping. We spent like $20,000 in shipping in the last year. I was looking for somebody's email and something on a shipping note on that, and so I had to go through the reports. And I'm like, we spent like $20,000 in shipping in the last year, which I know for some people, like, oh, we spend that in a month. I know some people are like $20,000. I'm like, yeah, $20,000 we spent in shipping in the last year. You wrote on the inside of a box one time. I did not keep that one. Oh yeah, I've written on boxes, on envelopes when it folds open. I would write the joke here and it flipped open. You got it on that side. So I did a lot, but I'm going to do my best to start doing more of these. I need to get everything set up so we can, start recording some videos, because now I had everything when it was here and I had a press over here and it was easy to move a camera and have everything right there for it. Right now, the layout is not conducive to that because we had other things that took over this counter while we were away. So, and we actually put the press and stuff on wheels, which made it easier to press things and get more comfortable, more ergonomically correct, and pressing things. which means now I would make sure the camera is set up for there. I'd have to switch mics because I'm not 100% sure how that mic would all work in there. So, excuse me, logistically, there's some things that I need to work on to make sure that that happens, but it doesn't always work out that way. And now we're here, an hour and 20 minutes into this, and you guys are still with me, so thank you for that. But yeah, we're gonna get back to that. It might be some conversations like this. We're gonna talk some more things about what's going on in the business, business in general, ways to help your business, things to work on, things that we're trying out, things that we're gonna do. We'll get back into pressing things, So you let me know what you're having issues with: HTV, sublimation, DTF, our DTF stuff. In fact, somebody, our good friend Sarah over there at Distinctive. Let's find her. She's been playing with the hot peel on different things, and so she says that going back with that on let's see, peelable 8 to 10 seconds. Oh, so pressing it on the high poly counts, they're getting 5 seconds. They're able to peel. Other stuff 8 to 10 seconds. So they're testing it out. And because I said, here's the thing that we send out is the new any peel. So you're able to hot peel it or cold peel it. Hot peel, you're going to want to test it because, like I said, some of the stuff you can go a little longer, a little shorter. Temperature wise, I think they're pressing down at like 240 on it. So you're really, getting that adhesion with it and then hitting on that second press. Or you can, across the board, if you're not sure what kind of DTF film that you've gotten or transfers you've received from somebody, just think of everything as a cold peel. You do that and you'll be fine with it all the way around, because that way you don't have to worry about things. You can just peel it when it's cold. But hot peel, we're going that. Everybody has loved it so far. We tested it out for a good month before we started using it consistently and selling it. And a lot of people didn't even know that we switched over to it because everything still worked out just as fine with it. Best looking. Thanks, Rachel. I mean, we're gonna continue doing what we do, right? We're gonna continue providing content. Remember, like, subscribe, share. That's the goal. I need to get this channel, the YouTube channel. I'd like to see about 5,000 by the end of the year. That should be a good, achievable goal for it to help us out with that. Because anything that we can do with that helps out. I need to make more videos for it. We work with JP Plus, we work with Caesar, we work with the Rhinestone World, we work with Magic Touch, we work with Creative Fabrica, we work with Design Bundles. Who am I missing in there? We work with American Print and Supply, which hopefully that one is we're going to be able to do stuff with that because we're working on a meeting for UV DTFs, so we'll be able to start doing those for you guys as well. But yeah, we've got a lot of friends that we work with on stuff, and so I need to produce more content so we can have more friends to work with and then be able to give stuff away. That's what I really want to do. Now, when I sold that IQ heat press, he came from LA to get it, and my compressor went out. I looked so stupid. It sucks. I've slowed down to almost nothing. What the person I was working with a lot with, we're just on different places when it comes to business, and that's the thing, right? Different goals. Write down your goals, right? If you have a business partnership, right? And this is the same thing, marriage, relationship, friends, whatever. What are your goals for this year? How can I help you achieve those goals? That's what I need from you guys. We should have that. What are your goals and how can I help you achieve those goals? Our goal is I'd love to see this transfer business do $250,000 in sales. That's what I would love to see this year. It'd give us a decent revenue, and I'm good with that. How do I get there? I got our 20 members. I need each one of them to spend $1,000 a month. That gets me there. That's the goal, and how we can reverse engineer it. But in general, what are goals that you have for your business? Maybe we'll talk more about that next Tuesday. Maybe we'll do that, a little goal setting thing. I'll ask you guys to show up with your goals. How can we do some stuff for the rest of the year? How can we support each other and get them there? Because I really think together we can all do that. We can all help each other get there. We all bring something different to the table here. We all have a niche that we work in. Let's figure out how we can do it. One of the things that somebody said to me, they asked me, is if I would do a mastermind group. And I've really thought about it. And with this one, I said, yeah, we can do something like that. There's a platform that supports it. It does cost to do it. We'd all put it in on it. There is a cost that comes along with that. And I want to say it wasn't cheap, but knowledge and experience doesn't come cheap. Especially when you can have 4 other like-minded business partners in your back pocket, and you guys meet every at least every 2 weeks to set goals to help everybody succeed on it. Something that we can really put together. And this is only going to be 5-7 people. That's it. There's not going to be a lot in it. It's very structured. This is how it's done. It's at a certain time for a certain amount of time. There's a platform. There's a schedule that goes along with it, a structure that goes along with it. And this is what you're going to do, and this is what you're expected to do, and this is how we get things done. So, if that's something you're interested in, let me know in the comments too, because we can talk more about that. And then maybe start that up in third quarter or so. But I think it's something that we could really all get in and at least five of us we could really have a good thing there. Hello from Sarah Risser. I was just thinking about checking in on my goals. Great timing, Sarah. We were just talking about you and testing out the transfers and how you found on that. And Sarah, I think, got burnt. I don't know how she got herself burnt on the neck, but it sure looks like she got burnt on the neck. I think it's been the curling iron or something. It looked like a nasty burn, but so hopefully that's doing well for you now, Sarah. Use aloe and lavender. And I think there's some weird essential oil or something that works too for it. I don't know what it is. You're very right. Don, you're very inspiring as well. All of you are. I don't know why you take your time out of your day, you come here and you spend it with me. And I am so appreciative of that. I'm so overwhelmed by the amount of support that I get from you guys. And you know that I'm here for you, right? I hope you're there for me because I am here for you. And together we can all do amazing things. So, with that, like I said, we went really long today. We'll do goal setting next week. Goal setting Tuesday with Todd next week. We'll talk about how we can do some different things with that. It is Tuesday with Todd. I think we have some birria tacos ready for us. So we got to get after it. Yep, and look at that. Great timing. Renee says she's got to go make tacos. I'll catch the rest of the replay. Yep, we're getting out of here too, Renee. So you guys, thank you for joining us. Remember, you can find all of our links over at fatdadcd.com. I think I have that on here. Just head over to fatdadcd. That'll get you over a link tree. That'll have all of our links of where to find us at. Remember, like, subscribe, share. You guys, that's all you got to do. That's free to do. It's free to like. It's free to share. It's free to comment. It's free to do all those things. Help us continue to grow. And we're setting our goal of 5K this year. So however we get there, you guys are going to help us do it. I just made 8 tacos. That does sound good. Chuck, we love you too. Thanks, Chuck. That's you don't know how much that means. So thank you very much for that. On that note, Chuck said it nicely. We all love you guys. On that, peace, love, press on. We will see you guys next time. Mug life, baby. I don't know what's going on.